Hey, I'm Bob Raynor, and this is the Friday Five, your quick 5-minute dose of creativity, career insight, and tech inspiration to wrap up the week. This week, as I was reading and listening and talking to people, I kept feeling that a lot of creatives are adapting just as fast as the AI tools around them. So today, I want to talk about what adapting actually looks like. To start, I think creative careers are changing subtly, not in a dramatic Hollywood production kind of way. According to recent reporting in the New York Times, most of the impact of AI isn't coming from mass layoffs or big announcements. It's coming from changes in expectations, small changes. Things like early drafts, first pass research, rough visual exploration. Tasks that used to help junior creatives learn are increasingly handled by digital brains instead of human ones. So those tasks didn't disappear, they just stopped being part of how people grow. If agencies were smart, they would embrace the structured use of AI. What does that mean? It means allow the junior designers to use AI to concept wildly and make sure the creative directors are providing guidance as to why a concept works or doesn't. This is applying taste to technology. Now, of course, we're seeing anxiety growing in the job market because of AI, and that anxiety makes sense. Over in The Guardian, there was a survey cited showing that more than a quarter of workers believe AI could replace their job within the next 5 years. Now, that number doesn't really predict anything, but it gives you an idea of how people feel. And I can guarantee that number is going to grow over the course of time. And to be honest, it's not really about AI. It's people anxiously doing mental math about rent, family, and stability. But one thing I think is overlooked is the disconnect between how AI in the workplace is viewed. Executives talk about augmentation, workers talk about replacement, and that tension shows up everywhere in meetings, in social media, in community groups. But there is hope because artists are actually pushing back. If you've been following Adweek or gamesindustry.biz or Polygon, you've probably seen very specific examples of creative pushback. Game studios have delayed releases after players and artists noticed AI-generated textures and voice work that felt rushed or incoherent. Illustrators have publicly called out brands for using AI imagery trained on artists' work without consent. And creative teams inside agencies have asked clients to pause AI usage until credit, ownership, and compensation questions are answered. And when I say pushback, I don't mean a rebellion. I just think it's creative saying, we need the credit that's due to us. And that matters because it shows creatives are still actively shaping how these tools are used. So what's actually changing in the creative process? Well, Adweek has also run profiles of designers and creative teams using AI in day-to-day work. And this part feels important to talk about. People are using AI to generate early visuals, rough layouts, and starting points very quickly. What's shifting isn't productivity alone. It's where time is being spent by creatives in the creative process. It's a sign that high-level creativity may be suffering because creatives are spending time trying to mold and iterate on one concept using AI instead of using their personal creativity and taste to establish multiple routes or solutions before going down the best path. The risk here isn't that creativity disappears, it's that it narrows too early before enough possibilities have been explored. Finally, and thankfully, community keeps coming up. Fast Company has written about how creatives are increasingly relying on peer groups, not companies, to figure this out together. Local meetups like Creative Mornings, private creative groups, coaching communities. These are spaces where people can say, here's what I'm trying, or this part doesn't feel right, without needing to feel bad for not knowing the latest AI bot you should be using. Those communities are how people learn, grow, develop taste, and retain humanity when the job market seems to be collapsing around them. So if there's a thread running through this week, it's that we have more power over the AI overlords than we realize. And if you continue to seek and value community and real human experience over speed and convenience when it comes to creativity, you'll have a better chance to adapt and reimagine your future. Well, that's the Friday Five. Thanks for listening, and keep your flame lit.